Alright, pre-calc, welcome back. We have one more lesson in this unit, and today we are going to talk about logistic growth models. Logistic growth models follow an equation of this form, sometime a little different, but like basically this idea here. C is called the carrying capacity for growth models. This means that as time goes on to infinity, the population approaches C. It will never be higher than C. B represents your growth rate. Even though there is a negative in front, the growth rate is positive. It's negative because it's in the denominator. So if we were able to move that quantity up, it would be a positive exponent. But you don't have to worry about that. You just need to plug numbers into this formula. So, okay, what we have here is a population of an endangered species. Often, environmentalists capture an endangered species and transport the species to a controlled environment where the species can produce offspring and regenerate its population. Suppose that 6 American bald eagles are captured, transported to Montana, and set free. Based on experience, the environmentalists expect the population to grow according to this model. Okay, where T is measured in years. So the first thing you're supposed to identify is the carrying capacity of the environment. Remember, that's just the most of that bald eagle you could have. So the carrying capacity is always C, this value on top. So that's just 500 bald eagles. That means that the environment could not sustain more than 500 bald eagles. The growth rate of the bald eagle is just this guy down here. And remember, don't worry about the negative. This would just be 16.2%. Population after 3 years. We are going to plug a 3 in for T. So a lot of this is just like plug it into your calculator. Be really careful that you type this in correctly. E to the negative 0.62 times 3. Okay, so 9.569, but remember we're talking about bald eagles, so I'm just going to say this is about 9 bald eagles. When will the population be 300 eagles? Okay, so now we are solving for T. Your 300 is your number of eagles you now have, so that would go in for P of T. And I'm going to cross multiply basically. Don't actually distribute though. I'm just going to write it like this. Because if you distribute, you're just going to make this more complicated. What I'm actually going to do now is divide by 300. So really what I just did was these two, the numerator and the denominator switched places on the two sides of the equation. I mean, if you want to distribute, you can. It's just going to give you more work. So 500 divided by 300 is 5/3. Okay. Subtract 1 on both sides. 5/3 minus 1 is 2/3. And then we're going to divide by 83.33. Okay, so this doesn't math rack. Okay, here's what I'm going to do, because again, I've made this a big deal. Do not round, do not round, do not round. So when you write this down, I mean, there's really no other way to do it, because I'm not going to make you write every single one of those numbers. I'm just going to put 0.00800 and I'm going to put a ... at the end of it. That tells me that you know there's more. You're going to use the full answer, but you're not actually rounding it. So ... And then we will natural log both sides. I am running out of room. So I have natural log of this. That's negative 4.828. And then I am dividing by negative 0.162. And you'll get about 29.804 years. So that's how long it's going to take to get 300 eagles in this population. Starting at 6 bald eagles is where we began. All right, so now we're going to do the last part. How long will it take for the population to reach 1/2 of the carrying capacity? Well, carrying capacity was 500, so half the carrying capacity would be 250. And basically, we're just going to do this problem again. So again, you're basically going to cross multiply, but then divide by that 250. So when you do that, you can kind of skip ahead, but I like to show all my work, which is why these videos take so long. Sorry. Divide by 250. So 2, subtract the 1. Divide by 83.33. So 0.0120. 20 ... Natural log both sides. Log that. Negative 4.4228. Yep. ... And divide. And again, you can kind of skip some of this work and go straight to your answer in your calculator. Just keep in mind, if you're wrong and you don't have work, I can't really give you full, even partial credit. 27.301 years. All right, so make sure that as we're going through this, if there are questions you weren't really sure about, make sure you circle them so that you can ask on Monday so that we can make sure you're all ready to go for your test on Wednesday. All right, really quickly, I wanted to, before we go on to the next problem, I'm actually adding this after the fact. I just wanted to talk to you about the fact that this said there were 6 American bald eagles initially. So they told you that information, but you could have had a different part A that said how many bald eagles were there initially. And you could have figured that out from this problem. All you would have to do is initially, meaning t is 0. So if you go to your calculator and you type in that formula, 500 over 1 plus 83.33, I know when I plug in a 0 to that, it's just e to the 0, which really you wouldn't even need this because that's just going to become a 1. But if you look, you get this. This is technically, I would say this is 5 bald eagles. They rounded it to 6, but there you go. That's how you would find the initial number of bald eagles if it was asked of you. Okay, that's it. Now you're going to go on to the next problem. All right, one more problem. According to a survey by Olston Staffing Services, the percentage of companies reporting usage of Microsoft Word T years since 1984 is given by this. Okay, remember this is your carrying capacity. That means that is the highest percentage of companies using Microsoft Word. And part A, what is the growth rate? Well, the growth rate is this guy. This would be 79.9%. What was the percentage of Microsoft users in 1990? So, all right, so we're starting at 1984. That would be when time is 0. And this is 1990, so T will be 6 because it's 6 years later. So we're finding P of 6. So this isn't really hard. It's just, please be careful typing this into your calculator. If you mess up typing in one number, then obviously the rest of it's going to be wrong. Okay, I'm going to look at it. Does that look right? I think so. Okay, so this is 97.316%. So that's the percentage of Microsoft Word users in 1990. In 1990. During what year did the percentage of Microsoft Word users reach 90%? Okay, so 90 will go in place of P of T. And same situation as on the front. You're going to cross multiply, but really the 90 is going to end up underneath the 99. Okay, so I'm dividing 99.744 divided by 90. That's pretty. All right, so that was 2078 over 1875. Yep, okay, and then I'm subtracting 1 from that. So that's 203 over 1875, and then I'm dividing that by 3.014. So now I just have e to the negative 799t is equal to 359 dot 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 dot. Okay. And then I am natural logging both sides. Natural log that guy. And it's negative 3.326 dot 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 dot. And finally dividing by the negative 7.99. Or negative 0.799. So about 4.163 years. And I think, let's go back up. During what year? All right, so 4.163 years from 1984. So that's like 4 years. So it'd be sometime during 1988. When none of you were alive. All right, so there you go. So that's it. Please, again, go back, look at these last 2 lessons and circle things that you have questions on. Remember, you have day 13 and day 14 homework. That doesn't all have to get done this weekend because remember, technically this is Monday's lesson. But I mean, you certainly have now the knowledge to go ahead and do all of this homework if you would like to. Or you can wait till Monday after we go through some questions. So hopefully this made sense. If not, we'll talk on Monday. Have a good one.